Starkville man arrested for attempting to join Isil pleads guilty in federal court today.
Mohammed Duklala reached a plea agreement with prosecutors on the charges. WCBI's R.H. Brown was in the Aberdeen courtroom today, and he joins us now live in the studio with more. R.H.
Well, court documents show Duklala admitted to conspiring to provide material support or resources to the terrorist organization. Our cameras were rolling as Duklala was escorted away from the federal courthouse by U.S. Marshals in the federal court. The investigators say the Starkville man was dating Jalen Young when she came up with the idea and convinced Duklala to join the terrorist network in Syria last year. Prosecutors saying in May of 2015, an FBI employee started sharing messages with Young and Duklala on the internet and social media. Duklala made a payment to expedite his and Young's passport so they could make the trip to Syria, first posing as honeymooners in Greece. The terrorist sympathizers assumed he would be joining the Isil military. Duklala and Young were arrested at Golden Triangle Regional Airport in August of last year. The FBI says Duklala and Young left notes behind explaining they wouldn't return and that Young was the mastermind of the plan. Young, who is from Vicksburg, is charged with aiding terrorists. She is scheduled to be in court June 6th. A sentencing date has not been set for Duklala. The maximum penalty for the crime is 20 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. Joining us right now live in our studio is the Columbus attorney, Dennis Harmon. He's also a friend, a family friend of Duklala's, and I think he affectionately calls him Mo. And Mr. Harmon, it surprised me that in the courthouse, not to minimize the gravity of this, he seemed to have been confident in speaking to the judge in, shall I say, a nice way?
Well, that's the way Mo always talks. He's a fine young man, very polite, very Southern, even if his last name is Duklala.
Yeah, I read the documents in the court. As you were right there with me, and it seems like he was influenced by the young lady.
That's what the facts that the FBI has. See, when they were checking this out, as the documents indicated, they picked her up on Twitter, and at no time did these two ever have a chance to talk to Isil. They only talked to the FBI, who had contacted them.
Did Mo get the gravity of what he was doing and what he was experiencing, what he was involved with?
Before, I don't know, because I didn't speak to him before. As for today, I think he understood the gravity. But what Mo was trying to do, as I think the court documents showed, he was interested in going to help Isil, but it was to help medical care, help education. He admitted to he'd go through military training, but even he asked them, what do you all want me to do? It wasn't there to go fight, it was to go help folks. And that's how Mo does in life.
He pleaded guilty. What now?
The next step will be, as the judge said, will be sentencing. There will be a time when they will go through the facts they have of how well he's cooperated, what his background is, what a danger he might be or might not be, collect more information from people who knew him to recommend whether to give him a more severe punishment or lesser punishment.
Well, thank you, Attorney Harmon. We thank you for joining us, and we'll see what happens with him during the sentencing phase, and we'll see what happens with Ms. Young. Back to you guys, Joey, Andre.